There you go. Hi everyone. Welcome to Kat's Creations on Sunday, where you guys get the overhead view for Sunday Lives. So tonight I'm going to show you a little bit of a rework of Friday's wreath base, which is just using a Dollar Tree wreath frame. Why? Well, if you've looked at the price of the work frames with the tinsel ties, they run about $7 to $8.50 each. So that's a really big product price point. You know, when we're looking at reducing materials costs and lowering, not lowering the price of our product so much. It's just like sometimes when you start off, if you can find ways to help you save money, that's going to be a win-win for you. So we're doing something similar to Friday's in a way, just using the Dollar Tree wreath frame and pipe cleaners that I've color coordinated in pink, blue, and white. We are using this sign that I got from Jane at Jane's Front Door Decor. This is an 8x10. It is an ice cream parlor sign, but we're going to kind of throw a little candy twist to it, because I don't know if you've ever been to an ice cream parlor. It's not just ice cream. They sell candy and other sweets there as well. So we're kind of capitalizing on the other sweet treats that you'd find at an ice cream parlor. So let me finish wiring up this Dollar Tree wreath frame. It's going to always be the same for most of my designs unless I tell you we're doing a totally different rewire. So in each of the 6 sections, I've already done the first 5, so we're going to do the last one together. I'm going to take my pink pipe cleaner. I'm going to put it right on the inside too, using the welds that subdivide each section to try to find a midway point. This way it creates stability in my pipe cleaners that I don't have to apply glue to them. And then I'm going to add a blue between this and this. So if I was doing it like this and like this, this is going to be midway for me. So that's where I'm going to put my blue. And this time I'm going to do the outside too. Again, for stability. And then we're going to go ahead and do the other side as well. This way you have 6 on the inside, 12 on the outside for a total of 18. Same as like what we did on Friday's wreath, except it had 9 on the inside as a work frame and 9 on the outside. So this one just gives us more on the outside, less on the inside. And I'm going to be removing my inside 6 as we go. I am incorporating 3 different color mesh. Go ahead.
Joe said, hi Kat, this is the first live that I've seen. I'm so excited to watch. I'm from Springfield, Missouri.
Hi, thank you for joining us. And anyone who's joining us for the first time, come on in and let us know. Hi, it's me. I am joining you for the first time. This is my first time catching you live. We are always live every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Central or 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you ever want to join me again, I'm on Fridays at 5 and Sundays at 6 Pacific. So 3 different color deco mesh for this particular sign. We are doing an iridescent blue. We are doing an iridescent wide foil white. And then we're also doing, throw out my candy, an iridescent pink wide foil. So these 3 are going to become our base. These ones that I just showed you are just color samples. We are actually going to be utilizing much larger pieces. So these are all cut to 20 inches with a wood burning tool because they don't contain any natural fibers. And
Jean-Ann said, first time watching you from New Jersey. Hi, Jean-Ann.
Hi.
And Melody said, hi, first time live, Franklin, Ohio.
Hi, Melody. Thank you guys for joining and sharing your Sunday evening with me. So I'm just basically pulling this mesh forward in about a 1/2 inch increment, and I'm making little bow ties. And then I'm going to take it. Pink is going with pink. White's going to go with where white pipe cleaners are. and blue will fall in line with our blue pipe cleaners.
Deborah, it's really simple. She says, I don't understand why you choose to put the different color pipe cleaners in. She likes to color coordinate.
Yes, I do. That's all it is. So could you do it all white? Absolutely. Could you do it all pink? Absolutely. I just, for this particular design, it's helping me know where I'm going to be placing what colors. So because I'm using 3 different color meshes and I want to make sure that there's one of each in each section, I've kind of color coordinated that. It just kind of looks nice instead of just doing a generic throw any color on there. It kind of, I don't know, makes me feel like I'm still in the design part of it. So that's where I go with my color coordinated. It just looks nice. And then we're going to do the same thing with our white. And all the mesh is from Craft Outlet. So with all of these, you can cut them with the wood burning tool. And I always face the finished edges towards the inside. So this edge here, the uncut edge, always faces the center and towards the outside. Just like that.
Thank you, Patricia. She sent 99 stars. She's always enjoyed watching you.
Thank you.
When you watch Cat, you just hear me from time to time.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they see you from time to time. Like your arm. Like handing me something I forgot. You might occasionally see that. Or if you watch some of our older videos, there was times where Steve would take on a challenge and make a wreath. Or we've done a co-create before where we've both created at the same time. And that's kind of fun. So on these, we always want to make sure that our ruffles are filling that gap next to each other so that you get a good complete coverage. But trust me, we're going to have good coverage on this one. And now we're going back to white. Oops.
Hi, gals, joining in. Hope you've had a great weekend so far.
Happy Sunday.
We'd appreciate it if you click like and share the video or sprinkled.
Yeah, so if you like this design and want to replicate it, like I said, the sign is from Jane's Front Door Decor. You can pick up the sign from her shop. And this is a great wreath for birthdays. If you have someone who has an ice cream shop, a candy shop, a sweet shop, it makes for a great wall decoration there.
Bonnie said hi, this is my first time here from Slidell, Louisiana.
Ooh, welcome.
Looks like Joan, Friant, and Jean Ann are actually somewhat close to each other, so maybe they'll be able to
meet up
and craft together.
That would be wonderful. That's how, believe it or not, I've gotten a lot of my crafting friends. And not even crafting friends that are nearby, but crafting friends that are far away. You know, you meet up at wreath conventions or wreath retreats. Sometimes you hit it off really well online, and then you become best friends.
Karen, no, this is actually 10-inch Deco mesh.
All of it is 10 inches.
Yeah.
So while we did 21-inch when we did the one Friday, this is just 10-inch. So it's just kind of giving you a different version of what you can do on a Dollar Tree frame to kind of elevate it and make it feel a little bit thicker, help keep your costs down. You know, like this I used with all, except for the blue, I had open rolls of the white and pink already from previous designs. So it just allows me to use those up.
Joanne said, I've watched you several times on the playbacks and I've learned so much with you. I love to watch your videos.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm always trying to fill the gap in that line right there and try to keep my mesh from not going below the frame but staying on top of. And then it creates that consistency between the layers.
Evelyn, I replied back to you earlier, but we are in Victorville, California, so we're in Southern California.
Where's Evelyn?
I wonder where you located.
You never know.
Patricia said, I remember Steve in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, both of you helped when I joined your private group.
Yes, absolutely. So I know this blue looks a little light, but you'll see it'll kind of pop here in a little bit because we're gonna re-emphasize the blue. This is an iridescent. It's a little bit thinner of the metallic threads going through, but I just wanted a subtle touch of the blue, not an overwhelming lot of blue.
Deborah said, for all you new guys or gals, this is the place to be. Thank you, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah. I appreciate that. Okay, and we're back to pink. So 18 pieces total, 6 of each color. So I have 6 of the wide foil, and the wide foil mesh is always my go-to mesh. So I like it because great quality. You can see that, you know, the foils are a little bit thicker, so they definitely show off a little bit more than like the light blue. Just like this.
Liz from Holden Beach, North Carolina.
Welcome. Okay, now we're going blue. Yeah, I think when have I always done colored pipe cleaners?
No.
I was trying to think of like when I very first started.
I think about 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, you started doing beige and then beige and white and then.
That's true.
And then from there you just kind of evolved.
Well, I guess
so this would be pretty for a baby wreath. Yeah, the color.
Yes, definitely baby shower wreath. That would definitely work too. I thought about that afterwards and I was like, this could work for a baby shower wreath. Because with all of the pinks and all the blues. Again, making
maybe
sure.
Like a reveal wreath.
Yeah, well then you could do blue and green, technically, if you wanted to. Okay. So each piece, or each section will have one white, one blue, and one pink in it. And like I said, we're removing the 6 inside as we get to them. So as I'm working this design, I'm just taking it into the next order of where my pipe cleaners fall. And then we're taking the inside ones, and the inside ones will lay underneath the ones on the outside. So just like this. So we see the outsides, because that's where we're going to put the emphasis on our design. And then we want to make sure that underneath in the middle, we kind of spread that out so that it acts as a filler for that section. So again, this is going over our pink. So we've got the 2 colors side by side. Here's our blue. Here's her white, side by side. There we go. Pushing them all to the side. And now we're going pink, then white, then blue. It's funny how many different things I will take and weigh down my mesh so that I can keep it flat. Till I get it in there nice and tight. 2 twists. Fan this out to the side, making sure we get both pieces to mix. Just like so, and then we're back to white and then blue. Okay, white is our inside, just like this. Remember, we're removing the extras on this. So once I get that twisted, I just go ahead and tuck my pipe cleaner below. And then because this is the center, this needs to go underneath the two outside pieces. So there's our pink. And then we need to get our blue. And it's funny because this blue on the blue mat doesn't really look blue. Okay, so we pull this one back, place our blue piece inside, 2 twists, and then we overlap this on top of the white next to our pink. And then we just swish that to the side. Back to our white. Okay, this one goes on our outside. It's going into our last section. 2 twists. Everything is overly clingy. Swish it to the side. Put our blue in.
Linda, yeah, the blue is such a light blue, it is kind of hard to see.
It is. It's because I'm not using, I used an iridescent foil instead of a wide foil. And we went with a light blue. Because on this sign, the light blue is just the background. And it's a really pale, pale blue.
Terry, no, this would not fit in between the storm doors. She's got a lot more stuff she's going to be adding to it.
It might.
It might?
Because we're not putting a bow on it. I've had several people ask me they don't want pancake wreaths, and so they're looking for something that'll fit on a storm door. So it would all depend on what the distance between your door and your storm door is. Some people have 5 inches, some people have 3 or 4 inches. I will let you know when we're done what the final height is. So we're looking at about the highest height. So if I'm measuring this using a pipe cleaner, right down to my mat and right at the highest height, right about here, we are at 5 inches. So if you have 5 inches of gap between them, and some people don't even mind a slight compression when they close their door. You won't have any bow that you're smashing. Everything is just going to be flat and on the wreath itself.
And Shirley, yes, these ruffles are cut to 20 inches.
Yes. Because we're looking for good coverage, which is why I do the 20-inch pieces. So if you have like the light blue, if I really wanted to make the light blue really stand out, I could have went with longer pieces so that when you see it on the roll, the color that you get on your mesh would be a little bit closer.
That's a good question. She said, do you find it hard to scrunch with stiffer mesh with your fingers?
Not at all. Not at all. What I don't care for is when you have really, like the value mesh sometimes can feel really stiff. But this, not at all. Because you're just pulling it forward. You have them in those little, little pleated folds. And then I'm going to take and push my pink to the side so I can pull my blue pipe cleaner up and get that to fit right in between. Last little piece. And then we'll finish this because the pink was actually an inside piece. Let's pull our white out and let's pull our blue over now. So it's kind of folded over.
And Bev, this is a standard 14-inch Dollar Tree Wreath Frame.
Yep, kid you not. There it is, 14 inches. So the finished dimension on this is 24 inches wide. Again, like I said, if you really want to hit that storm door of like 4 inches, you can try to kind of like compress this, maybe not have it go up so high and so full. You can kind of fold these flat. A lot of times people say, well, I like the way you have it. It has a bow on it, but it's hitting 5.5 inches. And I'm like, just take the bow, and instead of having the bow come up like a dome, just have it go flat and pull your ribbon tails more flat. And then you can go with that look without having to, you know, always be looking at a pancake wreath. Okay, super simple. We're gonna elevate this even more because I don't know, I wanna see more colors, because this is what that blue looks like on the roll. So of course, when you pull it out, you're like, ooh, that looks really pretty with the pink because it matches the sign. But because it's so thin, you need to add more of it to see the true colors. So if you remember from Friday, if you watched Friday's live, we added curls to our base. So we're gonna do the same thing tonight. These are cut to 10-inch pieces, and these are only going on the 12 outside. So the ones that I have pipe cleaners left, we are just going to fold about 1 inch up, and then you're just going to roll it just like this. And I have my bow dabber out to hold this piece until I get all 3 of them done. So there's my pink, here's my blue, and I'm rolling these. Yes, and I'm rolling them with the curl. So just like that, slide it inside. And then we have one here, but I want it a little bit tighter. Same thing, 1 inch roll. Just like that. And those are gonna be my bundles that I have. And now I'm gonna get a zip tie, 6-inch zip tie. I like keeping the blue in the center. So just like this, kind of make sure that they're all roughly the same length. I'm gonna add a zip tie right here to the center. Just like that. Nice little bundle that won't fall apart. I'm gonna take these, and these little bundles are gonna go in every single one of the outside pieces. Oops. Just like that. There is one bundle. And thankfully I have all the rest done, so you guys don't have to wait. So these are all just gonna slide right in. Just like that. You really want them down as far as they possibly can go, because you need as much of your pipe cleaner length as you possibly can get. There's that one. There we go. Little bundles. Because it kind of looks like the little straw candies, or the straws that are inside our ice cream sundae, I guess. Just like that. See, now we're really covering that base good. Okay. All the way to the center. this one over.
Now instead is that, I guess, dollar store mesh?
No.
One is a basic mesh, but the other two are actually a wide foil.
Yes, these are wide foil. This is just an iridescent foil, so it's very thin, but it adds like almost a rainbow shimmer to it. Let's push that one over.
And listen, I like the bundles placed on the outside. I think if you put them on the inside, it's too big and crowded.
It is. I so agree. And the fact that we're already putting that sign in the center, we would not have any room. So with this particular wreath, we're not using a bow. So we really, if you're not using a bow, you want to almost justify why not. And with, you know, a look like this where you're using your curls, and we'll be adding, you know, ribbons to the outside as well, and our sign, and then embellishments, you're like, okay, I get it.
Carrie said definitely looks better than a pancake wreath. You took it up a notch.
Oh yeah, well, can't really, at this stage with these kind of curls, again, you can kind of push them so they lay more flat instead of more up. It just depends on what look you're trying to achieve, and mine here is kind of height and width. Here's our last one. Okay, and you can lay these in whatever direction, whatever color pattern you want. So that, just adding curls on top of ruffles has just made this almost along the same lines of what we did for Friday with our work frame wreath. And we're about $6 less than where we were on Fridays. So now we're gonna go around the outside of this. I'm trying to think. We put the ghost on first, right? Let's put our sign on first, because I'm thinking our sign is kind of like our plush. So we're gonna open this up. This is gonna go right in the center of this design. So of course you wanna move all the little curls back that are in the way, so they're not all in there. And we don't want it so far down that it feels like it's being sucked down into the wreath. We kind of want this one a little bit on the top. I just want to make sure all my pieces are out of the way, just like this. And we're going to be coming in and adding some wreath embellishments. So I am going to do anchor this from the top and the bottom. So I'm going to remove this real quick. I'm going to get my metal hole punch, which is a Beadsmith 1.5 millimeter. You can get it on Amazon. Punch a hole in the bottom and in the top. Works just like a hole punch. And then it's up to you. You could secure it with pipe cleaners. You could secure it with floral wire. It's whatever your preference is. I prefer using the floral wire, just because I want to hide it. So there we go. We're gonna pop this in, flip it over to the back, and then make sure that we have equal amounts. And then I am securing it to the back, meaning that when I do my twists, I am creating a foundation from the back of the wreath, just like this. Didn't mean to twist the top part, just kind of went with it. And then we'll do the same here. Okay, building to the back, right over the hole is where I'm twisting. Okay, then we're going to plop that right down in the center. I'm going to take this, hopefully looking for one of the areas right here where I have my interior pipe cleaner. So I'm going to feed that down, Trying to get it on one side of my frame. Then I'm going to do the same with the other. Move this in place. Kind of move your... And what I do is I lightly kind of compress it just a touch so that I know, okay, this is the depth that I want it to be at. And then I should have another one right over here.
Yes, what was the info on the hole punch again?
1.5 millimeter.
Right.
Yeah.
You can get that from Amazon.
Yep.
From Beadsmith.
Beadsmith metal hole punch pliers. If you don't want to order from Amazon or online, you can go to Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. Go into the jewelry section. It's going to just be a metal hole punch for jewelry. Same thing.
And Jean-Ann, yeah, the curls are cut to 10 inches.
Yes. So they're...
Thank you, Krista, for saying that.
For catching that for you.
She beat you to it.
Nice. So I just like to soften my edges, which means just take some of your Deco mesh and kind of pull that up around the outside a little bit. Just to kind of blend in our sign with our mesh.
Hi, Anna. She's just finishing canning tomato juice.
Ooh.
Oh, that's replay. And the mesh you can get from anywhere. Craft Outlet, different areas, different places.
I prefer to get mine from Craft Outlet because you get a really good quality for what you pay. And not a fan of Dollar Tree mesh. I don't even know that I would use it on some of my designs. But there is the outside and our sign in the center. So again, we'll just make sure we have some mesh kind of cascading up and over. Here's one of my curls. Was kind of tucked under there.
Yeah, so once again, the base ruffles are cut to 20 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And then the curls that went on top of them are all cut to 10 inches.
Yes. Okay, so we are going to alternate. These are different. So 14-inch piece of 2.5 inch ribbon, wired ribbon, cut to 14-inch pieces. Again, just fold it over so you can find your middle point. We're gonna scrunch in. I am going to place that right in the center of my pipe cleaner. 2 more twists. And then we're gonna fan that to the outside. So I have to be careful with this one because it is anchored right here, the wires to the outside, but what's holding that mesh to the polka dot part is kind of like a very thin type of a glue. So if you pull too hard to fluff it, you will actually separate it and pull it apart.
Thank you, Anna, for sending 50 stars.
Thanks, Anna. Then we're taking 1.5 inch ribbon, cut to 19-inch piece. We're going to do what's called a half bow. So we're going to half bow this one. Okay. We're going to put that right on top. Just like that. And then you're going to open your loop. And then you have to right side one part of your ribbon. And then you are just going to allow that to cascade over the top. We're still not done with that section. We'll come back to it in a little bit. Okay. And then the other side, we are taking 2.5 inch, the pink with the white polka dot, cut that to 24-inch pieces. I've already dovetailed them and super simple. I did the same concept of a half bow, but much, much larger. So we're doing it just like this. This is going right on the inside. 2 twists. We're gonna flip this around and move my curls out of the way. And then we're gonna open this up into a very large half bow. Just like that. Okay, so we're alternating a small one, like a 2.5 with a 1.5 inch on top. to just a 2.5 by itself. Every other one. Doesn't matter at this point what color goes on what, because remember we have 3 different colors. And this blue with the polka dot was from Hobby Lobby last year at Christmas. It just makes for a nice complementary color for this.
Linda, no, the half bows like you see here are not called funky bows.
No, these are just half bows. Yeah. Just because it's only 1 loop and 2 tails.
Funky bows are the type of bows she does on her lantern flags.
They kind of don't really have a measurement, so to speak. But you may have seen other people refer to them in that way. So it's entirely up to you. So I just bring the same way. I bring my tails together. I'm going to go up pretty high because this is a really thick bow. We're going to lay that right inside. 2 twists. I'm going to move my curls around. Flip this over so that we have a nice look to the outside. Hard to believe this was a Dollar Tree frame, right? When you're starting to look at how thick and how full this is, this could easily, you know, and here I am 5 years into this, I'm still using Dollar Tree wreath frames. It's not because I don't want to use work frames, it's because I remember where I was when I first started this journey, and every dollar meant something. You know, at some point when you're making a ton of wreaths and you can elevate your costs, you know, I always try to look for work frames in the off season. Like Hobby Lobby might carry them, Joann's or Michael's might carry them, and you can pick those up at the end of the season for maybe 80% off. And then at that point, then it becomes, you know, doable. Or you can find them on a Wreath Stash site where someone's looking to just offload them. Okay, right up here, right on in, right to our center, couple twists, open, right side, and just fan those out. And technically, if you wanted to, you could do those all the way around and just use 2.5 inch ribbon and just do half bows. There's nothing that says that, you know, you have to do it one particular way. Do whatever way yields you the result that you're happy with. We just want lots of color, lots of sparkle, lots of texture. Let's pull these down. Flip. There you go. Back over here. What other questions do you guys have that I could potentially answer for you while I'm working my way around alternating these colors? Got my pipe cleaner under this piece. Need them on top. This needs to go under my tube. There we go. Just a couple more to go. We should be done with the ribbon part. And then we can start embellishing with some different types of candy. Pull those down. I always want to go under my ribbon. This reminds me of bubble gum. It's like a bubble gum pink.
Some of it are cotton candy colors.
It is, right? Oh, that totally looks like cotton candy. The blue, the white, the pink.
I haven't noticed, you said County Message, there's a pink bow going on the bottom row.
Yes, they're all going.
They're all on the bottom.
They're all in the bottom.
Yep. Or the outside.
Yeah, just the 12 outside. And this is on a Dollar Tree 14-inch wreath frame. And we've done 2 different mesh types. We've done ruffles with curls, a trio of curls on the same different color mesh ruffles all the way around.
And Donna, the 2.5-inch half bows are cut to 24 inches.
Yes. And the others are cut to 14. Except the 1.5 inch that's cut to 19.
Maria said, how much would this wreath sell for if we recreated it?
If you recreated it, well, it would depend on how much money you put into it. And then I always say your level of experience dictates how much your labor rate is, you know, because it may take you twice as long or half as long. You know, it depends on where your level of wreath making experience is. And are you selling locally? Are you selling online? There's just so many different factors for that. So there's people who say whatever your materials cost is times 2, or whatever your materials cost is times 3. It just depends. Oop, I want that one a little bit bigger. Just a touch bigger.
And like Kat said earlier, you know, some people call it different things. Funky bow or half bow. Jean Ann said, like how you're doing your ribbon. Never thought of doing half bows like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like 3D awareness ribbons. So I'm trying to get this one unfurled.
Honestly, when I make one, I do the inside, then outside. Am I doing it wrong?
I would never say you're doing it wrong. You're doing whatever way works for you. So when I first started, I would do all the inside and then I would do all the outside. And then as I have
evolved,
grown, I hate to say the word evolved, but as I've become more experienced, I just find shortcuts, things that just make the process go much easier. So there is no right or wrong way. Okay, so we are going to be adding some fun things to this. So let me finish off the where we're having the blue. So the blue sections are going to get some flex tubing. They're going to get this really pretty turquoise that's going to elevate that color again with a jute. And so what I like to do, because people always ask, I think it's like 4 inches. And then I just kind of just weave these back and forth. And then I'll always cut the tails where these end. And these are going right in here, right with our blue. 2 twists, couple, just like that. Okay, we can still elevate that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 1 blue glitter ball and 1 pink glitter ball to those. That is gonna finish off our blue sections, okay? Just take it to the next level. So my tubing is sitting here all on the floor.
Joanna, that's a good segue into Kat's private group. She said, what's the trick to get your wreaths to start selling?
Yeah. So we just did a class on that on last week, Monday. It was a marketing class that teaches you some tips on how to sell. Depends on where you sell, because there's people who sell locally. There's people who just do craft fairs. There's people who just sell online. There's people who have their own website. There's people who have an Etsy shop. There's people who have both. So if you'd like, I'd be happy to answer those questions for you through my private group, because those are definitely things that I work with my private group members to do. And in all honesty, it'll all boil down to how hard you want to sell them. You know, I always say we grade ourselves based on the level of effort we put out. You know, if we're only putting out what I would call a D or an F effort, then they're not going to sell.
On marketing?
Yeah, on the marketing side of things. However, if you're out there and you're posting and doing a ton of other things, you know, and doing it consistently, it will all catch up and it'll all start to pay off. And then you'll be super busy. But right now, it's a slow period. So right now, moms are still dealing with family vacations. Soon it'll be back to school shopping with their kids. And so right now, moms aren't focused on buying anything. They will be, though. And that's where we have been spending our summer preparing for that opportunity, you know, preparing for that time.
Barbara said, have you ever made a wreath using all 5-inch mesh?
Yes, I have. Yep.
As well as all the different types of forms, all stuff.
Everything. Yeah. We've done rails. We've done swags. We've done, and you might not see it here in the private group, but yeah, in the, or not here in the public group, but in the private group, you know, there's members can request, you know, to work on a specific design that, you know, oh, I have a customer request to make a cemetery saddle. You know, can we do a class on cemetery saddles? So, and speaking of which, I think we have to do one of those too, because I just got those forms in.
Deborah said, Kat, this looks good enough to eat.
Well,
and Janie says, I moved up to a C in marketing.
You moved up to a C. See, I can honestly tell you that my efforts during the summer have probably been like a D. Honestly, I just haven't put my focus on it like I should have. And so sadly, you know, and it's hard. It's hard when it's slow, you know, and it doesn't matter if you're putting in A efforts.
But not only that, but life happens. Things happen. Things happen in the family where you have to take breaks sometimes. So you can't be as focused as you want to be.
Well, not only that, there's people who work full-time jobs. Yeah. So it's different for them. So you can't hold everybody else accountable, but there are some ways that even people who work the 40-hour job, we show them shortcuts on how to get all their marketing done when they do have time, so that during the week they're done, but they look super busy. You know, if you were to look at what they're doing online, it seems like, wow, they're posting, and they're just pre-scheduling everything.
And Robbie, yes, you're exactly right. She could easily change out the sign. Mm-hmm. Right now, she could change out the sign, and it could be a new baby wreath.
Yes, it could. It could be an Easter wreath. It could be a birthday wreath. There's just so many things you could do.
And at the end of this, probably after the video, she will glue all the balls onto the end of the 5 fingers.
Yeah, no one's got
to watch her just sit there and
glue balls all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. So these ones go on there. So that just kind of, again, you know, you're taking something that we used. It was a Dollar Tree Wreath Frame, and we've elevated it. And then also on the ones that are on the outside, these, of course, will get their own little balls on the pink ones that it'll stay consistent all the way around so that you keep that sparkle all the way through. And these little things that I'm adding, I got from Hobby Lobby in their party section. Under, like, you get the blue ones where the blue is, and you get the pink ones where they have all their pink party decorations. And so you just stick them on the end of your pipe cleaners. And they just finish off the look so you just don't have a pipe cleaner sticking out. So, and I'm putting blue on the right and pink on the left. Just keeping it consistent all the way through. And then that way it finishes those off as well. Okay, open that, lift those up. This is the last one. And they come in different sizes. So when you buy them in a package, you get smalls and like a medium. So right there is exactly what it looks like. And right now, this wreath measures 26 inches in diameter. It measures, if we were to do this, let's get that to go all the way down. I want to make sure it's not bending. Now we are at about 6.5 inches, going from the tallest little cone that's sitting on the top. Get it? Cones. They're cones. Okay, now let's embellish. So we have some fun embellishments. I want to say a couple years ago, Michaels added these. So these are in our color palette. So we're going to add this trio of little suckers. So from Michaels, of course we don't need the price tag on them. This always bothers me why they put them on the stems in the worst possible spots. So earlier I kind of liked them. Well, let's see. Pull this one out. Sometimes I just want to play with the actual candy part of it. Let me see if I can get this one. Snap. That's where I need my good cutters. Just make it like butter. There we go. So we can kind of take these and tuck them in. Like, look how cute that looks. There we go. So we'll put these in. I'm just tucking them and bending them so that they go up and under. And I'm kind of tucking them in to my mesh, allowing my mesh to hold them. It looks great when it's flat, but you have to make sure that these are going to look fine when it's flat on the door. So you kind of want these a little bit more flat than out. So like tucked in here, tucked in there, okay? Tucked right in there. Just a nice little trio candy. So it's actually going to go a little bit more flat, because if they were straight up and down, when you go to look at it, you're going to see just this part. You're going to miss the whole candy part. Like that. Okay. So those are going to get glued in. Let me go ahead and remove a little hanger from these. We have some little frosty candied snowflakes. These are going to get tucked into our wreath as well. Something like here. I have another one.
This is turning out beautiful. I remade a peacock wreath using the same sign that you used.
Oh,
And I have to
nice.
say it turned out stunning. I'll
Very
send you
nice.
a picture of it.
Yes, please.
If you want. Mine is different than yours, but I use the same sign.
I would love to see it.
So this is so pretty. It does look like candy. Yes, it does.
So we're going to take these and kind of tuck them in. So there we have those. Super cute. I don't know if I'll use the donut. The donut's just kind of off by himself. I think he just would look weird.
Oops. Can't dang phone. I have a question and see nowhere on your Facebook page to ask a question.
Okay.
On a project you did earlier in the month. Well, definitely join your private group. She'll answer any questions.
Absolutely.
Jania said, I like that big cutter. Where did you get those?
Amazon. So these are Muzata, M-U-Z-A-T-A, and they work really good. If you're not cutting anything that's like really thick as a stem, I use my stem cutter for that, but this just cuts through, you know, those wires that are really hard that I can't get my regular wire cutters to cut through. It just really zaps my hand. So I might take one more. I had one more. Where did it go? Way up here? No. What did we do with the other candy canes? Oh, they're right here. The little suckers.
The lollipops?
Lollipops. Lollipops. Let me look. So I want another one. Let me do it here. See how easy that was? Just super simple. And I think we'll add, I'm like looking at which way I like it. Kind of like it this way. And I want it kind of tucked in here. So we have one there, one off to the side, one here. And I think I'm good with the 4. Although technically I only have one left. What good is one? What good is one? Should bend this the other way. And we'll probably tuck that in here. So cute little candy cane swirls, the little snowflakes. Now we need to glue them in. So glue gun is on high because whenever you're using Gorilla Glue, it's called a dual temperature glue for a reason. That if you are gluing in extreme situations, meaning areas where you might have high heat or extreme cold, you don't want things to fall off. So you switch it on high to glue all of your pieces down and then let it dry, and then it will give you whatever. See, it's all temperature glue, but if you read the directions, it tells you on the back, high temperature for strong bonding, low temperature for delicate materials. So we always want to go high when you're gluing weighted items like these. So I'm just going to take these out. Move all this stuff out of the way so it doesn't get glued. Oops. Push all those up. These will go over here. I'm going to use a silicone mat. Try to get as close as possible. We're tucking this guy right in here. So I am adding this all on the back. And a little bit down towards the center. This is just going to tuck right in here. It's going to affix itself right to this blue little curl that I have here. Same thing here. I'm going to glue down here on the bottom, also on the back. So we'll do the back first, because that'll finish once we have this. And I love the silicone mat because I can actually allow this to kind of drizzle. And I can scoop some of that up. And I can tuck this back in, right in here. Remember, we want more of a facing down flat look. Not quite ready. Thought it was. However, if you are using hot, be careful because you don't want to burn yourself. Same thing here. Let's go ahead and remove our paper. What do you guys think of the design so far? Here. There we go. Put this one up. Same thing. Deco mesh makes for a really good surface for our product to glue to. So this one, remember, was going sideways, leaning up. This one.
Oh, geez, and I'm forever burning myself with that darn glue gun.
You need a dual temperature glue gun, and most of the time you should be keeping it on low. I find that I burn myself more when I have it on high temperature, which is where it doesn't need to be. Unless you're like this, where you're trying to glue.
Can you bring the wreath down back down the center of it?
Yeah. Last little bit. Down along my stem. Tucking right in and right next to. So there is everything. As far as our suckers and our candies, everything is all glued where we want it to go. Trying to make sure that it's stuck to the end of my deco mesh. But then huh?
Valerie said, so yummy.
Doesn't it? It definitely looks very, like a nice
Candy shop, like.
Yeah. And I don't think we had any.
Yeah, David said, I love it. It's beyond adorable. Bonnie said, I can't wait to try or do one like this.
Man, I think if I was to add like these plastic candy canes, see, I have a ton of these that are like these, where I would want them to almost be half the length.
Right.
So, yeah, these need to get cut down. So that requires going out to the garage with, what do you call it? Not the grinder, but like a little Dremel saw, and cut them down so that when you add them, you know, they're going to kind of fall in line. Like, God, if it was only that short,
right.
I could show you what it would look like.
I thought there was a different, shorter one that would look like that.
No, there's not. There's only the regular candy cane length ones.
Did you say where you got the candies? Hi, Richard.
So the suckers, these things that I've glued on, these came from Michael's last year. These little candy snowflakes were from Big Lots probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I just had them left over. No, I don't have them, Steve, like that. So I would want to take these off, cut this edge off, and then you could come in and you could add, which I probably will, little pieces like this. I have nothing that we can cut this with right now, huh? here that isn't out in the garage to cut the end off and to cut these down?
I do, but you would see the hole in it.
What do you mean? To cut them off? Like short there?
Because they're hollow.
Yeah, but I don't worry about the hole in the bottom because that would go on the inside.
A hole in the top too.
But it's fine. I know.
Yeah.
Let me just see what one of these looks like. If you guys want to wait, I'll have Steve snap. Because I'm afraid of doing it with wire cutters. I'm afraid that I'll just completely shatter them.
I'll try.
And try those.
I'll play with one.
I'll play with this one. He's going to go cut that for me. I got it off. It worked perfect. But I know I know it won't cut the I know it won't cut this because I can't get my cutters that far. And I know my stem cutters would just seriously shatter that, but that's not bad. So I have these in pink, Hobby Lobby. So I saw these last year at Hobby Lobby in big boxes because they're ornaments. And they come in a bunch of different colors. I'm trying to see. I have one in blue. I have one in green. I'm trying to see if I had more in blue. But I don't. But how fun. I think I'm going to have him cut those and then we'll tuck these in as well. I like these up in the corner area. Like in here, but way shorter. And then the same thing here. But way shorter, like way shorter. You know what I'm saying? And then he has the other pink ones that would just kind of tuck in down here. Like I'm using the green one to show you where. So just kind of like right in here. And then another one, probably somewhere in there. Just so that you have like these little intermixes of like little candies. And then I think it ties the whole thing. So these are the wrong colors, but I just used it to show you where they would wind up. Did you get it? What'd you cut it with?
My scroll saw.
Oh, can you cut that one? Look, I took the end off. Yay, see? Look, he made these. So these will be perfect. So just up, kind of like right in there. Look how cute. I haven't decided if I want it this way or this way. Kind of like it this way. And then we have this one, which would go up in here. Just like that. Look how cute. Just like that. And then we'll tuck the last one in. Look how cute. Isn't that adorable? This is for sale, by the way. It is available on my website. I'm only making one because this is all I have left of these items. These, I don't even know if you can get them anymore. The little candy cans, it all depends on if Hobby Lobby's going to carry them or not. But yeah, super, super cute. I'll have to go look and see if I have another one of these, but for sure I'll add those too. What do you guys think? Basically, we're all done. We've added like little pops of candy, and you could, if you find other little things like spicy gumdrops, you could add those, you know, instead of the scatters and fillers ball, but that's kind of the illusion that we're going for.
Jefferson, I think it's perfect just like it is. Thank you, Shelby. She said, thank you for all you do.
Of course.
I'm commending or recommending you to all the, for newbies to learn. I love your work.
Awesome. Thank you for the recommendation. I highly appreciate that.
Jordan said, could you move the wreath closer to you? You can't see the top of the wreath.
Can you see it from here?
You can't see the top of the wreath.
Top? So, I mean, here's the top. It looks just like that.
Yeah, I think she meant zoom out. The wreath is kind of so big. If you push it over to your right, you can probably see the whole thing.
Let me move this.
Yeah. It's just the angle of the camera.
There we go. Now can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So super pretty, super fun. Like I said, you can use it for a birthday party. God, I would keep this on hand for any time I was throwing a party. I would put this over like the buffet place where we have the cake and the dessert. You could use it as a wedding gift. People who make candies or sweets, it'd be a great gift for them as well to put up in their house. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you for joining me on a Sunday night. I really appreciate those of you that are joining. And for those that are going to watch this, thanks for watching it on a replay. And
don't forget to join the private group.
Yeah. If you like it, just go to catscreationsandmore.com. Steve has it pinned to the bottom if you want to purchase this. It is available for sale. It's the only one. I only make one out of every one of my designs. And you can join the private group there too. Love to have you. Okay, everyone, have a great and wonderful night. Bye for now. What do you think of these? I think